Oh, God damn. Hey, what's the deal? Miss your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? Let me just lower this down. As of this recording, it is 10:32 p.m., July 7th, 2026. But the upload time is actually going to be, you know what? I'm going to definitely squeeze this for 11:30. You know, 11. Yeah, I'll squeeze this for 11:30. I'll do my best to finish this out and then upload it about that time. You know what I mean? So this is, the only video of the day and such. I had a crazy ass fucking day, bro. A crazy fucking day at work, and then it was just fucking bananas and such, right? But I'm also seeing news, right? And there's a lot of shit that's going on, right, in the world of professional wrestling. Real quick, I just want to say one thing. To Team USA, who lost yesterday in the World Cup, y'all niggas should just give it up. I'm sorry. I'm not a soccer fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm really not a soccer fan, but I know common sense when I see it. And the United States in soccer is more than terrible. They're fucking horrible, bro. They're horrible. You know what I mean? I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but yo, they're terrible. I don't even think they should compete in tournaments for the World Cup anymore. I mean, it's just every single year that they go in, they fucking lose, bro. Like, the fuck y'all niggas doing, man? But anyway, lots of news. So last night on Raw, Sami Zayn, he originally was scheduled to defend the WWE Championship against Cody. And Cody got attacked by Gunther, and they needed to find an opponent. So what happened? CM Punk came out. I mean, it was expected that CM Punk comes in, and it was expected that he would come back to the company, right? But, for them to have Sami just be a transitional champion, it kind of sucks. There was a report that I seen from, I don't know if it was WrestleVote, that WWE doesn't look at Sami Zayn as a big money player, right? So, but he's still one of those names that will, he's still an elite name. He's definitely still an elite name, but it's crazy that he only held the championship for only 9 days. You know what I mean? Only 9 days. As I'm talking to you guys right now, I seen about the building in Midtown that kind of that became very unstable. It's like, it's news all over. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, man, the building falling, that shit's fucking bananas, bro. You know what I mean? It's a high-rise building, but let me get back into things. Sami Zayn, do I see him being a WWE champion again? I don't know. I personally don't know. Honest to God, I don't know. Because, the dude worked his tail off to get to this point of his career. He's been in the game for 23 years. 23 years. You know what I mean? He finally achieved the big one. And look what happened after. Right? It's sad, man. It's sad because, again, Sami Zayn deserves to keep that championship for longer, right? He deserves it. This is what he deserves it. Sami Zayn deserves that shit. And for him to lose the championship within only 9 days, it's fucking insane to me. And again, does WWE value Sami Zayn? I don't know. I personally don't know. But then again, he's a Triple H guy. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure that he's safe when it comes down to that aspect. Because again, he is one of those big elite names that, does generate. He generates buzz. But for him to just be a transitional champion to Punk, I mean, again, that's nasty work. You know what I mean? That's some real nasty work. Because they need to sell, because they need to sell tickets for SummerSlam, right? We already know where this is going to go. It's definitely going to be Punk and Cody at SummerSlam, right? But I wouldn't be shocked if it's a three-way. Because again, this is the shit that WWE created, right? So you gotta fit this motherfucker in. You gotta fit Sami Zayn, right? So we'll see what happens, but I just thought that was crazy. I don't think that was a great move creatively. You know what I mean? But they got Punk back and they need to sell tickets. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's fucking insane, right? I can tell you something else that's insane, though. What's up with Jack Perry? What's up with fucking Jack Perry? Jack Perry has still not signed with AEW, right? He has still not signed the contract with All Elite Wrestling, right? And it's coming up very shortly. Very shortly. Did something happen where... Sami Zayn, not Sami Zayn. Did something happen where Jack Perry fell off with Tony Khan over the whole CM Punk thing? Right? One would have to wonder. But another would have to wonder, WWE has the craziest chance, right, to sign Jack Perry, right? They have the craziest fucking chance to do it. If they sign Jack Perry, right, knowing that Punk is there and everything else, that's an elite boss move, bro. That is an elite boss fucking move, B. Because, mind you, Jack Perry is, he's a guy who came up under the Elite, right? Specifically the Young Bucks. And so, they tried pushing him, after the whole thing with CM Punk. Remember Scapegoat? Remember the Scapegoat? Right? Look what happened there. Right? And now, now he hasn't even, put pen to paper. And his contract is up very, very, very shortly with AEW. This is some crazy shit. This is some real crazy shit. I'm telling you right now, if he lands with WWE, right, you automatically, and mind you, wrestling is all about making money, right? It's all about making money. You can do a program with him and Punk. That shit would make bread on top of bread on top of bread on top of bread. That would make lettuce, bro. That would make more lettuce for my sandwiches. I mean, that have more lettuce than fucking Jersey Mike's right here downtown Brooklyn. But that's crazy to think about, right? That's insane. The other thing I want to talk about tonight also is Richard Holliday. So WWE is not only interested in Richard Holliday, but also, if he might have signed or he might have already signed the deal with the company. And this is a big one because Richard Holliday is an indie standout, right? He's been in this game for years. Mind you, what was the group I'm trying to think of the name of the group that he had with MJF and Hammerstone. What the fuck was the name of the group? I forgot the name of the fucking group. You know what? As I'm talking to you live, let me look this up. I got it at the tip of my tongue, right? But I just can't get it. The Dynasty. That's what it was. It was MJF, Hammerstone, and Richard Holliday, right? And if Richard Holliday is definitely signed by the company, right? He's gonna do some big things. Why? Because Richard Holliday is a guy who beat cancer, right? Shout to him for that. Shout to him for that. And also he's a guy who can give you experience, right? And he's a guy who you can push. Now, I know they were interested in him before. You know what I'm saying? And there's like maybe a couple years ago, I think maybe maybe 3 years ago they was interested in Richard Holliday, right? But now that they got him, he's going to do some big things on NXT. You know, we know he's not going to be called Richard Holliday when he gets there, but you know, they're going to push him. You know, and again, you have that connection, you know, with him and MJF. You know, MJF's deal could come up. You know, speaking of that, and this is a little bonus thing, right? I'm gonna bring up for a bit. You know, I forgot what video I saw, but you know, they were talking about you know, elite stars that WWE would pay big bucks on, right? Yeah, because again, you know, the CM Punks, the Cody Rhodes, the Roman Reigns, you know what I mean? Like those guys, you know, the elite stars, Seth Rollins, you know, Sami Zayn, you know, those guys, right? MJF is also part of that. You know, he would be part of that, you know, he would be part of that list. And there's others in AEW too. And you already know who I'm referring to, right? But you have someone like Richard Holliday, you know, on the WWE roster, right? When he gets there, they're gonna push him. Yeah, I guarantee he's gonna be NXT champion. Mark my words. Mark my words, because he's a fucking standout. Now, I mean, he's a character-based wrestler too. You know, so there's some big things, man. Some big things. And yes, I know about the dude from New Japan Pro Wrestling, who also has signed with WWE. You know, so, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, I'm about to be out. You know what I'm saying? I gotta take care of some things. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna definitely holler at y'all, and I'm gonna check y'all tomorrow. Peace.